One take, one shot. This is the review series in which I don't edit nothing. I've only got one take, one shot to get it right. So, if Logan Paul comes in here and starts attacking me, better hope he botches like he did tonight and I can get away. But yeah, that said, let's talk Smackdown. This is the go-home show for Money in the Bank. We're going to start with the main event segment because that's what I think that most people are kind of like into, and then we'll backtrack and go through the entire show. Before we do that, I'm going to give away this belt. Well, actually, I'm not going to give away the belt before I backtrack. I am going to give it away at 20,000 subscribers. That's right, at 20,000 subscribers, I'm going to give the belt away. I'm going to do it. I will. I promise. I've already given away 2. All you got to do is comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell, ding ding ding, notification, and you can win this belt. And if you would be so kind, give a thumbs up. This thumb loves me some ups. All right, so don't be cruel, just thumbs up for the thumb. All right, so what do we got here? John Cena and Logan Paul, they did a beatdown. It was a complete beatdown of Cody and Jey Uso. Now, I gotta say this, though. We'll talk about it later, but it started just so, it could have been a moment, an epic moment, but then it became super awkward because we had Seth Rollins' group. They were cutting a promo saying how Seth Rollins was the future, how Seth Rollins was this, how Seth Rollins was that. And it was like, oh my gosh, are we about to collide all the storylines? Because Seth Rollins is the future. He's trying to save wrestling by any means necessary. And John Cena, well, he's trying to ruin wrestling by any means necessary. And for a moment, it seemed like we were going to get the streams were going to cross because we have Paul Heyman just saying how great Seth Rollins is, and they're talking. We have the Secret Hervis behind Seth, just looking all boss and tough, and then Cody Rhodes' music starts. Cody Rhodes' music hits, and we have everybody in the ring. They just watch as Cody comes out. Cody has to get his woes in, and he gets his woes in, and then they stare at each other. It's tense because the last time they were in the ring together, Seth was saying to Cody, don't you dare sell your soul to The Rock after all I sacrificed at WrestleMania 40, and you're even considering this. So it was like, it could have been epic, it could have been awesome. And then, as they're staring each other down, as Seth has already said, don't attack to Braun, then we have Yeet. Jey Uso starts coming to the ring. He yeets his heart out, and then as Jey Uso's coming down, right? This is just so mind-boggling. This is so mind-boggling to me. We see Seth kind of say something he says something to Cody, and then he gets out of the ring. He just walks out of the ring, and they don't even show it. They don't even acknowledge it. They do show it, but they show it from like this really far away view. So I'm like, wait, what's going on here? Seth walks away. Bronson Reed walks away. Paul Heyman walks away. All while he's yeeting. And you might say this, like, oh well, they were just trying to segue to the final, the main event program. But it's like, why would they do it like this? Just cut to a commercial. You have 806 of them anyways. TKO looks for any excuse to do a commercial. So finally, we have an opportunity where we could have just had Seth Rollins' group speak, cut to a commercial, and then Cody Rhodes appears. But no, they didn't. They did not cut to a commercial, and we watch as awkwardly as the heel faction, the big bad of WWE, literally just walk away. They were interrupted by Cody Rhodes, and they're just going to walk away. Jey Uso and Seth Rollins are literally beefing with each other right now over the world title, and they're just going to walk away. That's it. You interrupted them. They've been running roughshod all night. If anything, their confidence should be at an all-time high, and they should beat down Cody Rhodes or Jey Uso, or just have a quick line. All Seth Rollins had to do was say, you know what? Hang on a second. Cody, I respect our friendship. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna walk away here. But if you ever interrupt me again, friendship or not, I'm gonna destroy you. That's all he had to say. That's all he had to say. You just have to make things work, all right? I'm not complaining for the sake of complaining. I really enjoyed this SmackDown. Believe it or not, this was a very enjoyable SmackDown, but that killed it for me because it just, like, it made no sense. I cannot get behind bad storytelling. This wasn't even bad storytelling. This was like amateur storytelling. This was like someone who didn't even understand the concept of telling a story. All Seth had to do was say one thing. All right, Cody, you get a free pass this time, but next time I'm going to murder you. Walk away. That's it. And I know some of you might be like, that's what you're complaining about? Yeah, that's what I'm complaining about. It's storytelling 101. You do realize that we watch TV shows for the storytelling. So when the storytelling doesn't make sense or it's just flat out bad or lazy, it's okay to call it out. For real. And that it just took me out of the moment. It was 10 minutes. I had 10 minutes of crashing out about this because, then we had to sit through Jey Uso yeeting and then a commercial. Then they cut to a commercial after when it didn't make any sense. So then we have, then I'm going to admit, it did get better again. That was the really just it was just so bad. It was just in all my years, I've never seen such an awkwardly bad segue from one segment to another. So, but then we have Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, they're standing side by side, and Cody Rhodes is pretty much calling the kettle black, the pot calling the kettle black. In that, he's saying, John, you're just trying so hard. You had to get Logan Paul by your side. Yeah, well, okay, Cody, look who you have by your side. Jey Uso. Jey Uso just stands there not saying anything, doing their best New Age Outlaws impression, while Cody plays the Road Dogg, just talking, and then saying, all right, Billy, now you have your turn. If you're not down with that, suck it. And 4 words, 4 letters, 1 word, yeet. And yeet off. Let's have a yeet down because they said a showdown at the OK Corral. Bang, bang. And so, yeah. Okay, whatever. So then John Cena comes. John Cena comes out. We think we're about to have another promo. And again, there's only 10 minutes left. Same critique as last week as well. Why not have John Cena film a bunch of promos throughout the entire show? I do not buy he's trying to ruin wrestling at all. I give you nothing. If he was giving us nothing, why is he signing at Fanatics? All right? I've seen John Cena and a bunch of social media posts of people posing with John Cena. John Cena is giving the fans everything they want at the Fanatics signing. He'll pose to them with the mean face hug. He'll do whatever you want. All right, and why is there a new shirt every time he appears? He's giving us new merchandise. All right, so this John Cena trying to ruin wrestling thing does not add up. So John Cena, he goes to so we should have more appearances of John Cena. We should just have more appearances throughout the night. If we get 20 appearances, we get 20 appearances, but nothing says we have to only get 10 minutes per appearance. John Cena and Logan Paul, they could have had backstage vignettes throughout the entire show where John Cena's okay, last week, Paul, you made me mad because of this. You got to think smarter, Paul. And he's kind of teaching him and training him, Padawan and Sith Lord and Jedi Master, training him to, be the next champion, even though he's taking his champion home, the next world champion, guiding him, mentoring him. It could have been funny. It could have been great. Whatever. So John Cena's about to talk. He's out there. He's about to talk. And then Logan Paul punches Jey Uso and they attack. They attack. And they do the pulverizer. They do frog splashes. They do AAs. Now Logan Paul did botch Now, I did not catch it, but people in the group chat said that Logan Paul did botch the pulverizer, so I can't really comment on that other than maybe. I'll go back and look. But he did botch jumping up on the turnbuckle, and what was funny is he knew he had botched. He was like, oh, and he's like, ah, or something like that. But he recovered pretty well. Like, it's okay. You make a mistake. You're only human. And I like that he acknowledged that he made a mistake. But I could just tell he's like, oh, man, I'm going to get ripped to shreds over this. Which is like, whatever. Who cares? You know, we all make mistakes. But they beat him up, right? They beat up Jay. They beat up Cody. And then they kick him out of the ring. And then John Cena starts talking. John Cena's like, I'm the last champion. This is your next champion. I'm going to ruin wrestling. And the coolest thing here, well, I don't know. Like, was it cool or was it not? I don't know. I was impressed. I'm not going to lie. So throughout the entire show, there was no R-Truth chants whatsoever, unless I couldn't hear them. Maybe WWE figured out a way to completely mute those chants, but I could not hear any. So I was kind of impressed, kind of saddened even that there were no R-Truth chants. But here, the crowd suddenly turned, because it was a pretty good crowd throughout the entire night. The crowd suddenly turned, and they were not happy, and they voiced their displeasure, and they were like, we want truth, we want truth. And then John Cena, like, for real, I'm still kind of dumbfounded by this. He literally said, you can't handle the truth. He acknowledged the chants, leaned into the chants, and the beauty of what he did was, now, I'm not going to say whether or not, like, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm conflicted. I want those R-Truth chants to be there because I want R-Truth to be remembered, but I can't help but be impressed by John Cena using it, being so able to improv and use it as part of his angle, his story, and for him to say, you can't handle the truth. You guys are all liars. You guys are hypocrites. And he was able to use this. It could go both ways. If you have no idea what's going on with R-Truth, if you're just a fan and not an internet fan, well, then it's the promo that John cut still made sense. But if you're watching this channel, then you probably know R-Truth was recently cut by WWE/TKO, and a lot of people, myself included, were pretty upset about it. And so if you do know that, then the promo John Cena cut is even greater and even better, and just like, wow, I could not believe he did that. And by acknowledging it, it took the carpet from the what's the saying, you know, the rug from under your feet, I think that's what it is. And so that's what John Cena did, and suddenly the crowd didn't know what to do. The crowd was dumbfounded that John Cena went into it, leaned into it, and I give him major props, because what's cool about it, it also is kind of sort of a send-off now. They actually do have an acknowledgement send-off on TV of R-Truth, and it's not, you know, it's like very minimal, but still there. And I really did like, that's GOAT behavior. John Cena is the GOAT, handled crowd control very well. And then after that, after John berates us about not being able to handle the truth and how we're all hypocrites, he brings Cody in and he just AAs him. I feel like Cody should have probably got hit by the belt one more time to make him look a little stronger, because it's like, dude, you were just out cold. You passed out for like 5 minutes while John just cut a promo, and then he just like picks you up and brings you in and do it again. Whatever. So John Cena, they standing tall. They standing tall with the belts. Where was Jimmy Uso though? Where was Jimmy Uso? Jimmy Uso literally had a segment earlier in the night with Jay and Cody Rhodes. It's like, again, all you had to do was a simple statement. Wrestling is not hard. It really isn't. Writing for wrestling. All you had, like, here, let me fix it. Earlier in the night, when they had their segment, Cody and Jimmy and Jay, he's like, hey, Jay, how you doing? And Jay's like, why is everybody, like, wondering how I'm doing? Relax, bro. We're just, like, we're worried about you. You're everywhere. Tell you what. I'm going to go to the hotel right now, and I'm going to get the food ready. I'm going to order us some steaks. We're going to have a good time, or at the bar or whatever. I'll go right now. Boom. Jimmy Uso is now gone from TV, and that's why Jimmy doesn't come and help Jay when he's getting blindsided by John and Logan Paul. That's all he had to do. And there's another instance where this happens too with Ray Phoenix later on. It's just like, make it make sense. It's not that hard. One line of dialogue fixes almost everything. That said, this wasn't a. I'm thinking of implementing a new system on this channel, like chop or flop. I haven't fully figured out how I'm going to do it again, but I would say total flop for the segue. Like such a flop, it really killed the moment for me. But the ending, the sequence, the last 10 minutes of when John Cena got there, that was definitely chop worthy. But I'll figure out chop or flop for maybe next time. So then let's just back up now. Let's go to the beginning of the show. So that was the main event, right? That was the main event. We start off with Seth coming out and he cuts a promo. Kind of like, it's like this time Seth is cutting the promo. Later, it's Paul cutting the promo, but it's almost the same promo, just Paul delivers it better. So Seth is cutting a promo, and then Solo Sikoa comes out. That was pretty like, whoa. That was when I was I was really into it. It was just weird seeing them, Solo with his aura back, and it looked like he was bloodline, straight up. He's the tribal chief. They need to come up with names for these guys. Solo's faction needs a name, and so does Seth Rollins' faction. Can't be Seth and the Bronze, and then Solo and the old bloodline. I don't know, old new bloodline. So they come out. Solo is just so funny. He's so great. They have their tense stare down, and then Seth kind of walks away. It's like, I don't know. Seth Grooves should be the big bad. They shouldn't be walking away from people, even if it's Solo Sikoa or, but they do. They walk away. Then Jimmy Uso attacks out of nowhere because he has a match with JC Mateo. Still hate that name. JC Mateo takes his first loss. Therefore, I don't think he has hit like Triple H thought he would, and maybe, I know it's just one loss, so it's not the end of the world, but I don't think Mateo is really connecting. He's not really connecting, and I'm wondering if he's going to just be the muscle, which is fine. He can just be the muscle. Solo Sikoa is elevating himself again, and so it's fine. Just, we won't have the big old feud between Jacob and Mateo. We can just go back to Jacob and Solo, which I would rather have anyways. So they fight. Jimmy wins because there's miscommunication where Jacob Fatu is on the apron and Mateo's like pushed into him, roll up, and the most devastating move in all sports entertainment. Simon Miller, thank you. And yeah, so Jimmy Uso, who is like kind of just, he's in this weird position where they let him win and then he'll lose like 4 times. It's like, but they're going nowhere with him. Yeah, Jimmy, we're going to let you win here, but we got nothing for you at the same time. Then we go to Zelina. She confronts Julia. They kind of have like a little moment. Nothing big. We have Damian Priest. He comes up to Jacob and he's like, hey, Jacob. He came at him like pretty, like a lot of bass in his voice. It's like, dude, calm down. Calm down. He's like, I know what it's like to work with family and have family problems, but like, truth be told, I'm coming for your belt. Thankfully, Jacob Fatu only used one of his catchphrases. I don't mind multiple catchphrases, but you don't need to use them every single time, especially when your promos are only 30 seconds. He gotta, you know what I mean? And that was about it. So that was fine, whatever. Okay, well, a little bit of a lie. So I am adding this because I actually forgot to mention it. So I'm going to throw it in real quick. We had a Secret Harvest match of Piper Niven versus Zelina Vega it was just a street fight. And what was stupid here was that it took forever for Chelsea and Alba Fire to actually get involved because it's like, it was a street fight. They could attack at any moment. Eventually, they did attack, and they were going to win. Julia then actually interfered on behalf of Zelina Vega, so I thought we were about to have a face-versus-face match for the U.S. title or a feud, but then after Zelina beats Piper Niven, she then is turned on by Julia, so that was kind of cool. Looks like this will finally put Chelsea out of the U.S. division. Hopefully Chelsea can move up. I wouldn't mind seeing a Chelsea versus Tiffany Stratton match, but yeah, so I don't know how I feel about Zelina Vega so totally owning Chelsea Green. And Chelsea, she has a broken nose right now. There's just a lot going on for Chelsea. She's just like such a great character. I feel like I feel like this feud should have not been so one-sided for Zelina. It's okay that Zelina won, but like I feel like they could have done Chelsea better for all the hard work she's done. I'm very confident though that Chelsea will definitely recover and hopefully move on to a feud and program with Tiffany when her nose heals up. So sorry, I had to do I guess 2 takes because I thought about like should I just not include this, but like how could I leave out Chelsea? That's not cool to Chelsea. All right, so back to the review. We have a Aleister Black promo, backstage promo, not backstage, a video promo, saying how he's like, LA Knight, you beat me, like, in a triple threat, and I understand how you beat me, but it doesn't sit right with me the more I think about it. It's like, okay. Okay, you lost. You lost. I guess it shouldn't sit right with you for losing, but, like, it's not like he cheated or tricked you, really. He just took an opportunity, and LA Knight kind of says it later. He's like, dude, it was a triple threat. Relax. It's not that deep. Seth interferes with the LA Knight Black match, and LA Knight and Aleister Black had a lot of good chemistry, and there was this really cool moment when Seth Rollins and them, they did attack Seth and the Bronze. They attack, right, and they beat up LA Knight, but then Aleister Black gets involved, and he stares down at Seth Rollins, and he kind of like touches his eye very briefly, which is a callback to about 5 years ago during the pandemic when Seth Rollins he was in a eye for an eye match feud with with Rey Mysterio, and his gimmick at the time, Seth Rollins' gimmick was like poking people's eyes out, and he pushed Aleister Black's eye into the corner of the steel steps. And that's why Aleister Black, to this day, even in his time in AEW, has a different eye. You know how like his pupils are different? It's because of Seth Rollins. So that was a callback to his Monday Night Messiah days, which was like interesting and kind of cool. Actually. Braun Breaker then spears Aleister Black and kills him. We have a King of the Ring package. We're going to get King of the Ring. It's going to be the winner goes to SummerSlam, so that's cool. Jade comes and says, I'm going to be champion, and our King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring, and then Charlotte just appears. And so I thought that was cool. I do like them teasing this upcoming feud between them. And then Tiffany just shows up, and I didn't need that. I'm a Tiffany fan, but like we could have just let Charlotte and Jade, that moment, kind of just simmer. Tiffany, she comes out, she starts talking how it's Tiffy time. She's very confident, happy for her. Then Rhea comes out. Rhea starts talking. It was only for a minute, which is probably good. Rhea Ripley, not that great on the mic. She's great everywhere else, but if she was a character in an RPG, her charisma would be very low. Her charisma would be like 2 out of 10. But everything else, her power, her skills, her aura would be like 9 to 10 out of 10. But her mic skills just not so good. Sorry, I'm a nerd. If you don't know what an RPG is, it's a role-playing game for like video games. It's like instead of just like, fighting games, a role-playing game is like a video game where you actually talk and there's like a big old storyline. That's why I'm so keen on storylines and stuff and storytelling, because all my entertainment, I'm just like big into it. I love comic books. I'm like one of those nerds that will be like, oh, wait a second, this doesn't fit continuity. I'm all about canon and stuff. Shut up, Chop. We have then at this point, all of the money in the bank contestants, they come out. They all come out, and we have ourselves a good old slobber knocker, as good old JR would say. It's a decent match. It's a good match. A lot of people, I had at least 3 or 4 people kind of question, why are we having this match tonight? Why don't we just save it for tomorrow so we can see them all interact for the first time on PLE and make it more epic? But that, when it's all said and done, what is cool here is Naomi, who is like kind of like the chaotic character of all 6. She like Roxanne Perez is gonna tag her, but Naomi doesn't take the tag, walks off, and just like, see ya, bye. And then Roxanne Perez takes all 3 finishes from the other side, which protects Roxanne because she takes 3 finishes to lose. And Naomi gets to get the one-upmanship on everybody and she's crazy, so it makes sense why Naomi would do that. So it was a decent enough. We got a finish, and it made sense storyline-wise why it all happened. And I don't think Roxanne was buried at all because she took everybody's finishes. We got a Legato video. Okay, cool. Gable and American Made, the Creeds are backstage, and then Penta comes and starts talking, and Andrade starts talking, and Nick Aldis doesn't have time for this, so we got ourselves a tag team match playa. So Cody does his Road Dogg impression, and Nick Aldis does his Teddy Long impression by booking a tag team. And then, let's see. Oh, I forgot JC Mateo. He was pretty upset about Jacob Fatu saying, dude, to Solo. That guy, we can't trust him. And Solo's like, this is the insult of the night. He's all gas, no brains. Love that. That was hilarious. And then Jacob, he heard it, and now we know for a fact that they're going to feud because it was like off camera he heard it. And so once Solo left, it was revealed. And Jacob was like, ooh. So Jacob's about to turn face. I mean, I like him as a heel. I love him as a heel, but there's no way the crowd is going to let him continue to be heel. We have Bo Dallas. He does a Wyatt 6 little video package, and I mean, it doesn't really make sense, and I get it's the Wyatt 6, so it doesn't really have to make sense. I mean, yes, it does have to kind of make sense. Before, their motive was, you don't hurt your family. You can't hurt your family. And so now their motive, why they are attacking the tag team division, is, can your unit really be brothers? Is your bond so tight that you can survive us? And I'm like, it's kind of a stretch, but okay. Bo Dallas is insane, so maybe a stretch can work here. I'm just going to give it the benefit of the doubt here because Bo Dallas is so insane. And then you have there were all of the tag teams in the room together being like, what are we going to do about the Wyatts? And you have the heels were definitely kind of more nervous about the Wyatts, while the faces were like, oh, we're going to take them out. We're going to fight them. We're not going to get pushed around, punked around. And the Street Profits were just like, listen, guys, we're it. If we need to, we will. But you guys do what you got to do. And so now it's definitely the tag teams versus the Wyatts, but there are different personalities within this. It's interesting, I guess. I think it would have been better on Raw. The Wyatts versus the tag team division on Raw would be better because you could instantly be like, well, New Day, what you did to Big E, this is why we're attacking you. But then again, if the Wyatts are going to be feuding with faces, that kind of means they're heels. They're also feuding with heels, so that kind of means they're anti-heroes. So I don't know. I'm intrigued, but we do gotta follow up on what's happening here. Then we have Penta and Andrade versus the Creeds. At some point, Vikingo attacks Chad Gable, who's on the outside. Those guys are having a match tomorrow at AAA before Money in the Bank. And so probably a good thing that Chad Gable didn't enter into Money in the Bank because Chad Gable would have to do double duty. But no, so Chad Gable even acknowledged that earlier, saying, I wish I could be in it, but at least there's a suitable replacement in Grande Americano. I second that, though it would have been cool to see Grande and Chad actually duking it out on a ladder, but I guess maybe we can say that for WrestleMania 63. We have Penta Andrade versus the Creeds. On one hand, I don't like when a tag team unit is beaten by two single stars, but because Vikingo did kind of distract, there's a little protection. I have these really old school rules and laws that I live by that I know a lot of people don't anymore. So I just gotta stop yelling at that cloud. Penta and Andrade, they win, but then Seth and them, they come out and they beat them down again. So I guess the storyline of the night, at least there was a thread, and the storyline was Seth Rollins asserting his dominance anywhere and everywhere he goes. And this is where you have the promo by Paul Heyman. They bring up the bloodline a bunch, so it's like, are they doing a red herring, making us think Roman's going to come out at Money in the Bank, or are they showing us and leading us to believe that he is? Because Roman does have to return soon, and if we're going to have a Saudi show, I could definitely see him having to appear before Saudi Arabia. If we're doing Night of Champions where the King of the Ring stuff's happening, well, Saudi money is good money for Roman Reigns. He loves those big paychecks. So, maybe he appears here so we can go to Night of Champions, and then we go to his SummerSlam match, because Roman's not appearing a lot. He's going to appear at SummerSlam, and he could appear at a Saudi show. So, I don't know if this is Money in the Bank is where Roman actually shows up. But I could see it. I'm saying no, but I can see it. Anyways, at this point, then we have that awkward segue that we talked about at the beginning of the show. There you go. That is the review of what happened. I actually yawned 5 times in hour 1, 4 times in hour 2, and 6 times in hour 3. So that's 15 yawns. And I took a big old nap today. I took a nap today that, I woke up thinking that I had missed... I woke up thinking I had missed Smackdown. I woke up thinking that I was in 28 Days Later. The world had been taken over by the zombie apocalypse. That's how hard I slept in my nap today. So for me to yawn 15 times with a nap in, you be the judge. I liked this SmackDown. The only thing I didn't like was that really bad segue. Otherwise, it was good. But I think, you know what? I yawned mostly during the commercials. So it's the commercials that are really subtracting from the overall experience of SmackDown. The show itself was solid, but so many commercials really just kill the momentum and kill the fun and enjoyment. I get it. You gotta make money. I mean, heck, we didn't even talk about the Slim Jim table. Slim Jim table. I'm going to start doing commercials in my video soon, probably, for TKO. But yeah, it's like the commercials are just too freaking much and really just... they interrupt the flow. You can't really get a moment. You think the show is worse than it really is because a commercial break every 5 to 8 minutes. It's like, geez, how much money do you need to make? You're still going to fire everybody. So you just, we just fire everybody and squeeze everything for every dime open through a business. I'm not going to get into that argument here. That's my review. On a scale of 1 to 10 chops, it was good, except for that stupid segue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would give it an 8 if it wasn't for that segue. 7 chops, and was it a chop or a flop? Overall, it was a chop. This was a good SmackDown. Just that segue was just so bad. So freaking bad. That's something I care about. I know most won't, but I'm gonna have nightmares of that segue. That's how bad it was. Boys, girls, have yourselves a great day. We have hot takes up. We'll do hot takes early tomorrow. Then we'll live stream Money in the Bank. We'll do a review, and then we'll hot take that as well. Have yourselves a great day.